Hey everyone, welcome back to another deck idea video. As always, we'll be going over the decks coming out in Saiyan Showdown, as well as a couple of cards and what a complete list would look like, at a local level and things like that, but give you a base point of where to start. As always, if you enjoy the video, leave a like, leave a comment, be sure to subscribe to stay up to date with these videos as they come out. Starting off with Broly, we've got permanent, you can't include non-Broly battle cards in your deck. Auto, choose one red extra card in your hand and discard it. When this card attacks, draw 2 cards. And Awaken, when your life is at 3 or less, you may draw 2 cards, switch one of your energy to active mode, and then flip this card over. The permanent on this leader really does restrict the kind of creativity that you can get behind this deck at the moment. We don't have options to that many Broly cards compared to, having a full range of cards available. So you are restricted to the kind of cards that you can put into this deck, but there are a few options. On your Awaken side, we've got 15k SS Broly Demon's Second Coming standard. Auto, when this card attacks, draw 1 card. If there are 7 or more red extra cards in your drop area, you can activate the Activate Battle skill on a red non-field extra card with original energy cost of 3 or less in your drop area without paying its energy cost. If you do, send that card to the warp. Activate Battle, choose 1 red extra card in your hand and discard it. This card gets plus 5,000 power for the battle. We're going to be running a lot of different red extra cards as well, so a lot of those cards give the leader additional effects. So being able to activate them without paying the energy cost from the drop area is going to be quite strong and something that we will go over throughout this. But also having the Activate Battle attached to this, so those red extra cards aren't dead in your hand, you do have the option to kind of pitch them and give the leader plus 5,000 power defensively or offensively. Moving on to the deck, we've got Testing the Opposition, a 2-cost negate from Battle Evolution. We've seen these cards come up in all kind of decks now. They're quite popular, and the reason for that is it's a counterattack. If your leader is mono red, negate the attack, then play 1 Cyberman token. These tokens specifically have 5,000 power and 5,000 combo power compared to some of the other ones, and that token gains blocker for the turn. What makes these cards really good? Permanent, if your life is at 5 or less, you can activate this card's counter skill from your hand by adding 1 card from your life to your hand instead of paying its energy cost. Really good. Wolfang Fist, counter attack if your leader is mono red, choose up to 1 attacking battle card or leader card ignoring barrier and it gets minus 15,000 power for the battle. Permanent, if you have a red unison in play, you can activate this card's counter skill from your hand without paying its energy cost. Yeah, really good. Having that kind of ignoring barrier is quite strong as well. Pretty good. Frieza's Death Ball, a card that we see in some red decks. It's here or there, but works really well with this leader. Activate Battle. If your leader is red, choose up to 1 of your leader or battle cards, and it gets plus 15,000 power for the duration of the battle. Auto, if all of your energy is red, when you activate this card, choose up to 1 of your opponent's leader cards or battle cards, and it gets minus 10,000 power for the battle, for the duration of the battle. So yeah, giving you a bit of synergy already with that leader being able to activate this card from the drop area, putting your leader at 30k and then putting your opponent's leader at 5k. So quite a big difference, quite a lot of cards for your opponent to start comboing there if they don't want to take the damage. A really strong card with this leader. Beerus Ball, counterplay if your leader is red and your life is at 4 or less. If the battle card being played has 15,000 power or less, it is placed in the owner's drop area instead of being played. If it's your opponent's turn, choose up to 1 of your leader cards and it gets plus 5,000 power for the duration of the turn. The permanent is if you have a multicolor card in your energy and your life is at 4 or less as per the first effect. You can activate this card's counter skill from your hand by adding a card from your life to your hand instead of paying its energy cost. We're currently not running any multicolor cards in this deck, but that option is available in this deck. You can work with the red-green variant as well. It's not what I've gone with this one, so just to kind of give you a bit more of a standard base point. We're not going to be worrying too much about that permanent on this card. But yeah, I've added this card. We see a lot of the floodgates now, like the green Topo, the Oceanus and things like that. They are under 15k compared to the red Topo, which was 20k. So those cards that can kind of stop your turn, stop your attacks and things like that. We don't want them hitting the field, but you do need to be at 4 life or less. Next we see, is that all you got? A counter attack if your leader is red, negate the attack. Then you may choose 1 red card from your hand and place it in the drop area. If you do, choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards and they get minus 15,000 power for the duration of the turn. A really good negate, being able to knock off 2 15k battle cards is quite strong as well. You can pitch an extra card, get it into the drop area, and then start getting ready for your leader to activate Awakened Auto skill. Yeah, really good negate. Next we have Demonic Blitz, a 3-cost extra card. Counter attack, limit 1, negate the attack, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets minus 10,000 power for the turn. Permanent, if your leader is a red Broly card, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 2. And then we've got an activate battle, choose up to one of your cards, and it gets plus 10,000 power for the battle. So quite strong there. Obviously, we are restricted with that limit 1, so we do have to run a couple of different negates like we just went over, because we don't want to have too many copies of this card in hand, and we can't negate with it after the first time. But yeah, the option there to pay 1 and use the activate battle is really good as well. Yeah, quite strong. Next, we have the Demon Awakens, a 0-cost extra card. Activate main, limit 1, burst 1. If your leader is a red Broly card and you send this card from the drop area to the warp, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. Activate battle, choose up to one of your cards, and it gets plus 5,000 power for the battle. So a bit of an option there to self-awaken, and you can use the activate battle on your unawakened side as well to get that plus 5,000 power free. Demonic Barrier, 3-cost extra card, same permanent as before. If your leader is red Broly, reduce the energy cost in your hand by 2. Activate battle, if your leader has 15,000 power or less, choose up to one of your cards and it gets plus 5,000 power for the turn. Additionally, if that card is a Broly card, it also gains critical for the turn. So this works really well with the leader. You do need to sequence this card quite well, because as we've seen in the past, a lot of these cards give your leader plus 5,000 power for the turn. So if you're on your awakened side, you want to use this card first, since your leader will be 15,000 power or less. And then you can start adding on those effects from there. This will immediately put it at 20k for the turn with critical. So you wouldn't be able to use, like the activate battle, for example, on your leader, choosing a red extra card, pitching it, getting plus 5,000 power, and then activating this card, because your leader would be at 20k at that point. Next we see the Demon Cometh, a 1-cost extra card. Activate main if your leader is a mono red Saiyan card and you choose 1 red extra card in your hand and discard it, draw 2 cards. Activate main, limit 1 if your leader is a red Broly card and you choose 1 card in your hand and discard it, and you send this card from your drop area to your warp. Play up to 1 red Broly card with an energy cost of 1 from your deck, then shuffle your deck. We are currently only running 1 red Broly card that is accessible. But yeah, having the activate main there to pitch this and a red extra card, see 2 new cards as well, but the activate main there tied along there too. Then we have Gigantic Meteor, which is the SR from this set. 3-cost red extra card, same permanent as before. Activate battle, limit 1, choose 1. If it's your turn, choose any number of your opponent's battle cards that add up to a total power of 30,000 or less and KO them. Choose up to one of your leader cards or unison cards and it gets plus 15,000 power and has its skills negated for the battle. Additionally, if your leader is a Broly card, the chosen card gets an additional 10,000 power for the battle. So yeah, being able to activate this for 1, remove a big 30k or a couple of different, 15ks and things like that, is good. It gives you a bit of option, but also being able to get that plus 15,000 power. And then if your leader is a Broly card, an additional 10,000 power. So 1 energy, 25k power, really strong there. Demonic Playtime, same permanent, activate battle for limit 1, draw 1 card, then choose up to one of your red cards and it gets plus 10,000 power for the battle. Additionally, if that card is a Broly card, it also gains double strike for the battle. So doesn't just work on leader, but the leader is a good option for this card. Being able to stack this onto any Broly card and giving it 10,000 power and double strike, really strong. And then you've also got that option to, well, not option, but you also get the additional draw 1 card. Really good effect. The unison for the deck, Dark Broly, Resonant Obliteration, another SR, 2 specified red energy, permanent. If there are 3 or more red extra cards in your drop area, this card gains double strike. +1, activate main, look at up to 5 cards from the top of your deck, add up to 1 red extra card with an activate battle skill and an energy cost of 3 or less among them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. -2 auto, when your opponent attacks with a battle card, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and it gets -3,000 power for the turn for each red extra card in your drop area. Quite a good effect, that -2, giving you another option to kind of remove some of your opponent's battle cards. You're going to have a lot of red extra cards in the drop area, so you can get this easily to -15k, -20k and things like that. But the +1, being able to search top 5 and grab the red extra card with an activate battle skill that you need is good. It can kind of allow you to search a bit for the cards that you need. But yeah, you're going to have those red extra cards in the drop area with your leader's effect, with some of the extra cards that we've gone over's effect. So this card will gain double strike quite early on, and it's something for your opponent to watch out for. Broly Crown of Retribution, a card that we've seen come back with quite a bit of force. If your leader card is red, when you play this card from your hand, so not being able to work with that Demon Comet that we went over before, if your opponent has 2 or more energy in active mode, your opponent reveals their hand and you choose up to 1 battle card with 20,000 power or less and place it in the drop area. Being able to place that card in the drop area is quite good, but being able to see your opponent's hand and see, how much combo power they have, how many negates they have, and things like that is really good, and it's something that people have to watch out for when they're playing against red if they've got that 2 energy up in active mode. A really good card. Super combo for the deck, obviously we're limited to Broly cards, so they did give us a super combo. Standard, sparking 5 if your leader is red. When this card is using a combo, draw 1 card. SS Broly, finishing the job, 16k, 4 energy, 2 specified red. Auto, limit 1, if your leader is a red Broly card, when you activate the activate battle skill on a red extra card with an original energy cost of 3 or more in your hand or drop area, play this card from your hand. When this card attacks, choose 1. Choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, get to minus 10,000 power for the turn. Choose up to 1 of your opponent's unison cards and it gets to minus 15,000 power for the turn. So that effect of being able to minus the unison is quite strong in comparison to the minus 10 from the battle card, which is still good, obviously. But yeah, we see a lot of 15k unisons, being able to swing into a unison, minus at 15k, remove a marker, and then deal the damage from the attack is really good. And it's a 16k, so it's going to be quite difficult for your opponent to swing into unless they want to start comboing into it. And you can play this quite easily when you activate a red extra card. You can just pay 1 and play it. Next, we see another SR for the deck. This is kind of one of the finishers. So we've got SS Broly Brutality Beyond Measure, 6 cost, 3 red energy, specified, deflect, double strike, permanent. If your opponent has 3 or more energy and you have 5 or more red extra cards in your drop area, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 3, being able to play it for 3 energy. Auto, once per turn, choose 1 card in your hand and discard it. When you activate the activate battle skill on a red extra card with an original energy cost of 3 or more in your hand and drop area, switch this card to active mode. If the card you discarded with this skill is a copy of this card, draw 2 cards, then choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards or unison cards, ignoring barrier, and it gets minus 35,000 power for the turn. Really strong effect there, being able to remove pretty much any battle card in the game at the moment, excluding secret rares. Being able to get through barrier as well, but also having the option to kind of remove a marker from a unison too. You want to be running multiple copies of this card so that you can get those additional effects. Obviously, another copy needs to be discarded to get that draw 2 and choose 1 of your opponent's battle cards and minus it, things like that. But yeah, you can, restand this card just by pitching 1 and then get another 35k double strike attack into the lead. So yeah, good effect, obviously being tied in by ditching another copy of this card to get additional effects, but quite strong overall. And the last card for the deck, we have the Secret Rare, a card that we saw in Vermilion Bloodline, which has recently been reprinted, so this card will be more accessible. SS4 Broly, the Great Destroyer, and the Great Destroyer, it definitely is. Ultimate Barrier Double Strike. Activate main, choose 1 mono red Saiyan with an original power of 35,000 in your battle area and place it in the owner's drop area. Play this card from your hand, then choose up to 1 of your mono red leader cards. It gets plus 10,000 power until the start of your next turn. Really strong there, keeping your leader at 25k. It's like a double bean. A lot of combo power that your opponent's going to have to put in to start dealing damage. But to make things worse, this secret rare's also got a permanent. All cards in your opponent's leader area, battle area, and combo area get minus 5,000 power / combo power. So if your opponent has a bunch of 5k combo cards in their hand, they're all now 0 cost. That can be devastating once this card comes out. Obviously, you're able to play it, the activate main, over the Broly SR. So a really strong card that kind of rounds out this deck. We've got a lot of effects that we're going to be trying to deal deal double strike damage, deal critical damage off the leader, but we've got a bit of a battle card chain there as well to kind of push for damage as well. But yeah, that's it for the Broly deck. If you have any other ideas and cards that can work well with this deck, there obviously is that kind of red-green variant that people are going to start playing around with. Put it in the comments, let me know. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like, leave a comment, be sure to subscribe for our next video. Other than that, thanks for joining us.